भारती न्यूज, सीधा, सटीक और निष्पक्ष।
Good evening and welcome to Bharti News. I'm Shweta Arora Malhotra. Let's have a look at the biggest news of the day. Here is the national news first. Investigators probing the chilling honeymoon murder case revealed that Sonam, who vanished during a trip to the northeast with her husband Raja Raghuvanshi, had been in constant touch with her alleged lover Raj Kushwaha throughout the journey. According to police, Sonam regularly shared her live location with Raj, who remained in Madhya Pradesh, while coordinating with three hired killers to track the couple. The chilling conspiracy was set in motion just days after the wedding, with the group tailing the newlyweds throughout their northeast itinerary. One of the turning points came when Sonam insisted on a sudden pilgrimage to the Kamakhya temple in Assam, which investigators now believe was a tactic to aid the killers in narrowing down the couple's movements. The stampede occurred on 4 June evening in front of the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Here were a large number of people thronged to participate in the RCB team's IPL victory celebrations. 11 people died and 56 were injured in the incident. Karnataka Chief Minister Siddharamaiah and Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shiva Kumar will meet the Congress High Command in New Delhi on Tuesday to discuss various developments, including June 4 stampede in Bengaluru that killed 11 people. The Congress government in the state has come under sharp criticism in the wake of the incident, with opposition BJP and JDS holding both CM and Deputy CM directly responsible and demanding their resignation. Siddharamaiah will meet party leadership in Delhi and will brief them on the latest developments, the Chief Minister's office said in a statement. Mr. Shiva Kumar, who had returned from Delhi after visiting Delhi Municipal Corporation regarding municipal governance and solid waste management along with officers of Greater Bengaluru Authority, is heading back to Delhi according to his office. So here comes the international news. Pentagon is expected to deploy about 700 active duty Marines to Los Angeles from Southern California in the wake of protests against immigration authorities, 3 U.S. officials said. Meanwhile, California officials sued U.S. President Donald Trump, seeking to roll back the administration's National Guard deployment. According to reports, Trump has ordered the Department of Defense to deploy an additional 2,000 California National Guard members to the Los Angeles area to support U.S. immigration and custom enforcement amid ongoing protests in the city. The extraordinary mobilization of 700 full-time professional military personnel who join hundreds of National Guard troops already there look likely to stoke tensions in a city with a huge Latino population. A viral social media post claimed that an Indian student was mercilessly pulled with both hands and legs cuffed and tied by U.S. authorities at Newark Airport. The post shows the Indian national pinned to the floor and handcuffed in the airport premises. The incident may have happened around June 7. An ex-user said in a June 8 post that he witnessed a young Indian student being deported from Newark Airport last night, handcuffed, crying, treated like a criminal. He came chasing dreams, not causing harm. As an NRI, I felt helpless and heartbroken. This is a human tragedy, the user said. He shared some videos and sought the Indian embassy's help in reconciling him with his parents. The harrowing visuals showed the student pinned to the ground as at least 4 officials held him down. So here comes our sports news. BCCI Vice President Rajiv Shukla has lauded former Indian captain MS Dhoni after the batter was inducted in the ICC Hall of Fame during a ceremony in London on Monday. The veteran batter became only the 11th Indian player to join the prestigious list and joined the company of players like Sunil Gavaskar and Virendra Sehwag. Congratulating Dhoni in a post on X, Shukla wrote, "From the streets of Ranchi to the ICC Hall of Fame, what a journey." MS Dhoni's story is a shining example of determination and excellence. A small town boy who rewrote cricketing history and won a billion hearts. Congratulations to MS Dhoni on this well-deserved honor. Notably, Dhoni is the most successful Indian captain to date, having led India to the 2007 T20 World Cup and 2013's Dhoni also redefined the role of a wicketkeeper in the ODI format, as his 183 continues to be the highest score by a wicketkeeper in the format. Nicholas Pooran, at the age of 29, has decided to quit international cricket entirely. Arguably the finest T20 batter in the game at present, West Indies wicket-keeper Nicholas Pooran dropped a bomb on Monday night as he decided to quit international cricket from all three forms. Pooran's decision comes in just days after South Africa wicket-keeper batter, another great of the game in the shortest format, quit international cricket too. While Pooran intends to continue playing franchise cricket, the decision does make the purists question the future of the sport on the international spectrum. Over the last couple of years, more and more cricketers have quit international cricket to put entire focus on franchise cricket. Some of these players decided to hang up their boots in their prime. Pooran, who has also led West Indies on the international stage, is the freshest example. Talking to Instagram about his decision, Pooran said, "After much thought and reflection, I have decided to announce my retirement from international cricket." So here comes the business news. Investors are set to funnel surplus money into short-term bonds, further boosting an already favored play in India's debt market after the central bank's surprise decision to inject more cash into the banking system. The Reserve Bank of India's unexpected move to release 2.5 trillion starting September may prompt lenders to favor shorter tenor securities over longer dated ones, says investors including UTI Asset Management Company and PGIM India Asset Management. If credit growth is not shaping up, the question becomes how to deploy the huge surplus liquidity, said Nitin Agrawal, head of India trading at Australia. New Zealand Banking Group Limited. In such a scenario, funds will be deployed in short and bonds. Asian shares edged higher on Tuesday, buoyed by expectations about the US-China trade talks as officials struck a positive tone after the first day of negotiations. Regional stock gauge rose 0.5% as talks between the US and Chinese officials were set to resume Tuesday. Shares in Hong Kong and China traded within a tight range while US equity index futures advanced. The dollar consolidated around levels last seen in 2023. Treasuries traded after yields on the 10-year US bonds fell in the last session to 4.47% as inflation expectations eased. The yen declined 0.5% against the dollar after Bank of Japan governor said Japan's price trend still has some ways to go to get to its 2% target. Some market participants interpreted those comments as lowering the chances of a rate hike. So that concludes our news bulletin for today. Thank you for joining us. Stay tuned to Bharti News for continuous coverage and more updates. Wishing you a good evening and a great night ahead. Thank you.